One thing I didn't know requested reviews could do, stop me from being incredibly lazy.
Hello and welcome to my requested review of Side Effects, starring Channing Tatum, Jude Law, and Rooney Mara.
Yes, I would like to thank subscriber Scoomax very much for this request and the support of my channel, so now let's jump right into Steven Soderbergh's Side Effects. Side Effects centers on a woman played by Rooney Mara, who's having some depression issues to say the least. After driving her car into a wall after her convict insider trader boyfriend, played by Channing Tatum, is released from prison, she starts to see a therapist and he prescribes her with this new experimental medication that he's joined a committee for. Unfortunately, the side effects of this medication have disastrous results, and hence we have our movie. So Side Effects, I really should have reviewed this movie when it came out, because I gotta tell you, Steven Soderbergh as a director has been all over the map for me. Like, I've loved some of his films, and I've hated some of them, but this movie is absolutely fantastic, and it's a real gem. Firstly, the performances. You don't get a much better damaged young woman than Rooney Mara, and she transcends that beautifully in this film. Her character has so many odd, weird layers in this movie, and her character as a whole takes so many twists and turns, and she plays them all believably and plausibly. Also wonderful in the movie is Jude Law as the therapist, who's really the lead of the film, which is what the advertisements don't really quite that well imply, is that he's really in command for a lot of the film as he tries to piece his reputation back together, and you can really feel the guy's desperation, and he's wonderful in the role as well. Channing Tatum, who a lot of people were skeptical about because this is a more dramatic film, does a decent job. Like, he's not great, he's not bad. Like, you know, he's watchable in this film. I personally agree with many people who say that he's a lot better in comedies. I really agree with that. But, you know, he does what he has to do in this film, and Soderbergh's wonderful direction of actors does kind of go on to him as well. I love the way the script of this movie is written. I know it's cliche, but this movie is very Hitchcockian in the way it sets up the story and how you get to meet these characters and just kind of slowly get pushed into their problems and how the whole thing just kind of unravels, and all of it. It's just so beautifully old school in a way. We don't see movies like this winding temple of mystery. There's all these supporting characters I haven't told you about because I don't want to ruin anything, and all this great themes and everything. It's just a really well-written screenplay. I love the way this movie addresses liars and the various ways that people cover up the littlest, tiniest, or biggest and most massive lies just within their various fields. Like, we have the people in the legal department, we have the pharmaceutical companies, we have personal lies, all kind of meshing together into this big pot, and it's great to watch all these characters interact. Also, the cinematography in this film is absolutely gorgeous. Every shot just has this great kind of washed out almost look to it, to where you almost feel like you're on drugs watching this thing, just because it's kind of abstract, it's kind of dreamlike in a weird way. And I've never seen Soderbergh really take that directorial style all the way. He kind of started with it in Contagion, but in this movie he really mastered it and made you really feel like you were in a dream. The only problem I have with this movie is that in the third act, about maybe an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, it starts to kind of spin its wheels a little, because it does kind of turn into the Jude Law, I'm going to get to the bottom of this movie, to where it kind of feels like a Dr. Watson solo movie. And at that point, some of the twists and turns kind of take a bit of a turn for the ridiculous. And while the actors do a good job of playing them, they're a little teeny weeny bit too exaggerated. And I feel like the movie could have handled some of those sequences a lot stronger, especially towards the end of the film, where it just goes in a shockingly unexpected and just kind of weird direction. And while I'm not going to say much, I will say that while I enjoyed said direction very much, you'll know what I mean if you saw the movie, but I just feel like maybe it could have been downplayed a little bit to make it feel a little bit more realistic. Overall, Side Effects, if it really is Soderbergh's last theatrical film, which, let's face it, I don't believe it, is a solid way. Overall, Side Effects, if it is Steven Soderbergh's last theatrical movie, which I really don't believe, but if it is, it's a good note to go out on. It's a really solid thriller, exciting all the way through, slightly brutal, great performances, and one of his stronger works that I've seen. Granted, I haven't seen Traffic, but from what I understand and from what I've seen, this is one of his stronger films, and I give it 3.5 stars out of 4. And that was my requested review of Side Effects. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. You can also request a review if you'd like. And until next time, guys, I'm Michael Fairbanks. See you later.